Hello guys, so today I want to share my experience with 4-3-3, okay? So before we go into the offense, let's go through the defense first so that I can explain this properly. So basically, in a football team, you have three defensive line. The first line is the offensive line. Basically, your CF or SS wingers will make the first line of defense. All right. And then the second line of defense, the midfield line, your wide midfielder and your center midfielder, defensive midfielder, and the attacking midfielder will make the second line. Okay. And then the final line, the defensive line, is consists of the fullbacks and the center back. Okay, so basically it will divide into these 4 zones. All right, that you have to go through. So the first zone, second zone, third zone, and the fourth zone. All right. So the idea is to get the ball to your forwards into this fourth zone. Okay, so the main area that you want to go is here, outside of the penalty box, inside this zone 3. So basically, usually your attacking midfielder, you can give the ball to him, then you want to unleash the pass to the wingers. Okay, so this is called as the danger zone. All right, so you want to get the ball to this area so that you can give a through pass or you can shoot yourself. So you want to make this zone 3 as big as possible. Right? So you want to drag this midfield line closer to you as possible, so that you can get more space in the zone 3 so that you can turn around, move around without being sandwiched by the center backs and the defensive midfielder. Okay, so you want to have some space and time to turn and find your wingers or shoot the ball. Alright, so that's the main idea for the defense. So let's see how we can break through the 4-3-3 formation. For this video, it's going to be 4-3-3 first. Basically, in 4-3-3 formation that we're going to use today, you have a couple of setup that you can do. The first one is the flat center midfielder here. Okay, so basically you have 1 defensive midfielder and 2 center midfielder, and then another one is 1 defensive midfielder and 2 attacking midfielder, and then another one is 2 defensive midfielder and 1 attacking midfielder. Right, so like that. 4-2-1-3, 4-3-3, or 4-1-2-3. Okay, so the best one for me is 4-2-1-3. All right, so that's the formation that we're going to focus on. I'm going to explain why it's the best out of those 3. The main reason is it makes it easier for you to keep the possession. All right, make it easier for you to hold the ball at the back so that you can build up your play carefully, and then you can find your center forward or your winger at the front. So basically, with a 4-3-3 formation, during defense, usually the opponent will try to press up high. Normally in real life football, the most numbers of forwards that they have is 3. Very seldom they play with 4 forwards. All right, so the maximum numbers is usually 3. So with 3 forwards, they usually want to press up high because they have less defender here. So to make up for that, they have to press up high Okay, if not, then if the ball get to here, then it's a bit tough for them to defend because they're going to be outnumbered. So they want to press up high and win the ball as quickly as possible. So with this 3 forward setups, let's do the flat 3 first. Right, so basically defensive midfielder here, then CM here. Let me quickly change to DM here. DM. Okay, so basically this is the passing option that you have. Alright. Here. Here. Okay. Then here and here. Okay, and of course the goalkeeper too. But let's just not draw that. Okay, so the forward will try to press up high like this. And then this center midfielder will go forward too. Your winger and center forward will go up front like that. And then these 3 will join in with the press. Alright. So if you get the ball to your center back here, you have some option to pass the ball to, usually your center back or back to goalkeeper or your fullback. So let's say if you pass the ball to your fullback, then the wingers can come close here, center forward come close here. So this fullback cannot pass the ball to anyone, alright? Because it's very tough to pass the ball to. Our only option is to go back, alright? So you can pass the ball here again. Then you can pass the ball here, but you have the center midfielder coming here, alright? And because this DM is close, he can switch here, then switch here. So very easy for the opponents to close down with this 4-3-3 formation when you use 4-3-3 formation, alright? So very easy for the opponents to do high press because your player, almost all of your players here is at the closer to each other at the in your half, alright? So with 4-2-1-3, what you have instead, attacking midfielder here, which means the defensive midfielder has to stay back, alright? That means if you pass the ball here, then if the CM here try to press, then this defensive midfielder is a bit further away to close down the center midfielder here, right? Instead of having a player here, so the defensive midfielder, the opponent defensive midfielder, can press up high, which make it easier for him to go close the other player. But if you're using 2-1 instead of 3 flat, or 3 flat, I mean defensive midfielder and 2 CM, this guy can quickly close here and can cover here. But with this attacking midfielder, he have to stay back. If not, then you can unleash the pass over here. Okay, so he have to stay back. That means you have some space to give the pass here, which mean this center midfielder have to make the decision whether to come and close you down or not, right? So if he come close, then he can here, but if he didn't come too close, then you can dribble. Okay, but if the winger come close here, then you can pass here. All right, so it's very easy for you to keep the ball with this attacking midfielder up here against 4-3-3, because this defensive midfielder is further away from your players, so he cannot join in with the press. All right, so if he join, then you can quickly launch a attack like that. All right, so that's the main thing with 4-2-1-3. Let's say if you use 4-1-2-3 instead of the flat one. So basically you have the DM here, and then you have 2 attacking midfielder. All right. This situation is kind of similar, but instead of having center midfielder here, you have two attacking midfielder here. So this defensive midfielder can press the defensive midfielder here, or you can something like this. All right, but something similar can still happen because usually the defensive mid or the center midfielder here can stay in front of the attacking midfielder. So if you want to pass, you cannot pass. If you want to do a long ball forward here, this center back can come forward and clear the ball. Or this can go down because long ball takes some time to reach the player, which means the defensive midfielder here have some time to recover. So a bit hard to do with two attacking midfielder. All right. And when the defense execute their press properly, it's very hard for you to keep the ball. So basically, if you have something like this, the only passing option that you can have, like if he press here, and then you can pass here, but there's someone blocking here, so you have to pass the ball here, and then this guy can block here. All right, so pass here, then here. Then this dude can come here, like that. Alright, so very tough for you to keep the ball because the defense can keep moving around and press you. If done properly, then they definitely can block you from passing the ball around and definitely can press you very easily. The only way is for the defensive midfielder to be able to dribble, pass through the this pressure here from this player here. That's why usually only the best defensive midfielder, like someone like Jorginho or Pirlo, someone who can dribble around, you know, like Xavi. All right, so but it's not advisable, I think, with one player, one pivot. It's good to have two pivot in a 4-3-3 formation. One more thing that you can do is 1-2 when you get pressed. When you get pressed very crazily, I mean, let's say if you do a 1-2 pass here, then you can go here, but this risk you in getting your player out of position, but it can still be done, but not advisable. So for me, the best 4-3-3 formation is 4-2-1-3. Alright, so 4-2-1-3 allows you to retain possession because you have one extra free player. Alright, you can go forward here. If you decide to press here, then you can pass it back here. Then you can just wait and find a better passing option. You can pass long here. Okay, and you have the option to run into space here. Alright, let's say if you have center midfielder here, you can run into space. If you play with flat 4-3-3, then you have player here, then you cannot run here. Alright, so it's very disadvantageous to play with flat 4-3-3. You're getting pressed very crazily, very little space to work around. Alright, but it can still work if you want to play with a false 9. Alright, so if you drop here false 9, then center back will cover here. But if you give a long ball here or here for the wingers to come and snatch it, but there's still one more player to cover. Alright, so we have seen how to keep the ball around at the back, the advantages of using 4-2-1-3. So let me quickly show you how to build up your play so that you can score a goal. So basically you want to get the ball to your midfielder here. That way you can pass the ball laterally like that. Alright, try to drag these two center midfielder close to you. Get this line, this three player, the midfield line, away from the false 9 here. Alright, false 9 will drop down so that you have some time and space to give a true pass for your winger. or you can run forward straight here and then shoot the ball. Alright, so the idea is to pass the ball here and then get the ball to your attacking midfielder, then to false 9, and then dribble. Try to drag the center backs away from your winger. If the center backs do not want to come to you, then you can shoot yourself. So try to do that. Right, so drag the center backs away here, then you can give a through pass here. Right, so very simple, very straightforward tactic. Basically you want to drag the midfield line away. If the players a bit conservative here, then you have to use your fullback to drag them away. Alright, drag them away like that, and here then you have to force them here, then you can pass it here, have here, then you have an extra player here, the false 9, then you can pass. Alright, if they play a bit conservative, then use your fullback, then find your attacking midfielder and your false 9. Very simple. Alright, but if they are very aggressive, then it is very straightforward. Just find your center midfielder here, and then your attacking midfielder. Since you playing with false 9, drop here. This defensive midfielder will have the task to guard 2 players, so it's going to be 2 against 1. Alright, so that's the advantages of having an attacking midfielder instead of a center midfielder here. So it's going to be 2 against 1. If he's here, then it's not a 2v1 situation. Alright, for the flat one. But if you're having a attacking midfielder here, then you have false 9 dropping down, then he will have to go against 2 players. Alright, so you can here, then here, or here, then you can dribble past him, do a 1-2 like that. Alright, then you can dribble. If the center back did not want to come, then you can shoot, or you can do a double touch if you come here, or you can pass and winger and shoot. Very straightforward, very easy. Try this out. Let me know in the comments how well it works for you, and I will show you some examples in the game. Alright, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys had a good time watching this. I hope you guys can learn something from this. If you find this video useful, please give it a like, subscribe to get updated on more future content and future tutorial. Please try this out and let me know in the comments how well it works for you guys. If you have any question, feel free to ask them in the comment section, and with that, I'll see you guys in the next one.